Every day we buy a lot of goods produced by large international companies. However, not all of these products in other countries have the same name as in our country. In this video you will learn about 16 products that look different in other countries of the world. If you're not already subscribed to Mogol TV, be sure to click on the red subscribe button and the bell next to it, so you will always be aware of new interesting videos on our channel. Number 1. Mr. As you know, with proper more fun, the house is cleaned twice as fast. But if in any other country you decide to clean your apartment and ask where to buy Mr. Proper, you will get a strange look, because this cleaning product has its own name in almost every country of the world. For example, in English-speaking countries this product is called Mr. Clean, translated as Mr. Clean, and a lot of jokes are associated with this name. Here's an example: Mr. Clean and Mr. Dirty, in case you didn't translate. By the way, in Spanish-speaking countries the hero's name is Don Limpio, and in Italy it is Maestro Limpio. In France, the character's name is not Mr., but Monsieur Propre. But despite the different names, the bald man in white clothes is the same everywhere, so if you find yourself in a supermarket abroad you will not be confused. Number 2. Burger King. Like if you also like burgers, also with French fries. One of the most famous fast food chains, Burger King, but if you happen to be in Australia and decide to try the famous burger, you will be surprised. The thing is, there just isn't Burger King, because this fast food is called Hungry Jack's, translated, Hungry Jack. The reason is that when Burger King decided to open in Australia, it turned out that there were already restaurants with that name. There was nothing left to do but come up with another name. By the way, let's arrange a vote in the comments. Which do you like more, Burger King or McDonald's? Leave your opinion under the video and see what is more popular. Number 3. Axe. Everyone knows this famous deodorant, both guys and girls, despite the fact that it is exclusively for men. However, in Britain, Australia and New Zealand, guys have to make do without the famous Axe effect. No, it does not mean that in these countries men prefer their natural smell. The fact is that originally deodorant was invented and named in France, but in English the name translates as Axe. Agree, few decide to buy a deodorant with that name in a store, so for English-speaking countries the deodorant was renamed Lynx, which means lynx. It's certainly better than an axe, but I'd think of something else. Number 4. Danone. Whether you like yogurt or not, you definitely know these dairy products. Almost 100 years ago, a Spanish pharmacist founded the company and named it after his son Daniel. Danone is a diminutive version. Over time, the brand became known all over the world. Only in the USA a problem arose. The Americans began to think that it was not one, but two words, that is, read as Dan One. The manufacturers changed the name to Danone, with 3 N's, so if you find yourself in the US, don't think it's a mistake. Thanks to the same design, most people won't even notice the difference. Number 5. Blendamed. Next to deodorant called Axe, would look great with Cross toothpaste, and this is no joke. The fact is that this is the name of the Blendamed known to us in many countries of the world, not even just in many, but in the majority. The fact is that this is the name of the paste only in a small number of countries, mostly in Eastern Europe. Number 6. Leys. Chips. Leys are eaten all over the world, and promoted by cool soccer players. Chips are traditionally very popular in the UK, but no one there eats Leys, because there is no such brand in the country at all. There these chips are called Walkers. A few decades ago, the makers of Leys bought a British company, Walkers. As a result, the new owners decided to keep the old name. Number 7 is Twix. It's hard to find someone who has never tried 2 sticks of chocolate-covered shortbread cookies. It's hard to believe, but half a century ago, when they started making Twix, they were called Raider. Moreover, this name was preserved for a very long time, and what Twix, in many European countries learned later than in Russia. Until the end of the 90s, Raider chocolates were still sold in Europe, but then the name was changed to Twix. These days, when running advertising campaigns in European countries, manufacturers sometimes revert to the old name. Number 8. Dove. This delicacy can be purchased in most countries around the world, but in the UK, Egypt, and India it goes by the name Galaxy. Number 9. Big Mac. The famous fast food McDonald's ran into problems when it decided to enter the Indian market. The fact is that in India cows are sacred animals. For this reason the locals do not eat beef. It is simply impossible to imagine McDonald's without meat burgers, including Big Mac, but the inhabitants of India are not embarrassed by this, but for them there are many vegetable cutlets on the menu. Number 10. Coca-Cola. It may seem that Coca-Cola has long taken over the whole world. The famous soda can be bought on any continent of the planet, but there are only two countries that do not have the coveted drink with a red label. These are Cuba and North Korea. If with the latter country everything is clear, because there has never been an office there Coca-Cola, and the poor North Koreans have not tasted the well-known drink. But in Cuba Coca-Cola began to be sold in 1906, but in the early 60s, after the revolution, the company left the country and since then Cubans have been left without the most famous soda. Number 11. Rexona. We all know that Rexona will never let you down, but the people of Britain are not so sure about this. The fact is that there simply is no such deodorant. In Britain this brand is called Sure. From English it can be translated as confident or reliable, not a bad name for deodorant, agree. Number 12. Ritter Sport banned in Germany. Sounds absurd. How could Germany ban the world's most famous brand of German chocolate? But we are really only talking about one kind, Ritter Sport. Not so long ago, the company released a bar of chocolate that is 100% cocoa and does not contain a single percentage of sugar. This is what has become a problem. According to the law, in Germany, chocolate cannot be considered a product without sugar. The company decided to challenge the decision in court, but for now Germans are unable to buy this particular Ritter Sport in their homeland, but they have access to a huge number of other flavors, because that's why we love these square chocolates. Number 13. A similar situation occurred with chips Leys in Canada and the European Union. The company has released a series of fat-free chips for those who want to lose weight. However, regulators from the European Union and Canada have found an ingredient in these chips that can cause digestive upset. As a result, Diet Leys was banned, but I don't think those who wanted to lose weight were very sad. If you really want to lose weight, it's best to eliminate chips from your diet altogether. Number 14. You already know about the lack of Big Mac in India, but there is a European country where there is not a single McDonald's and residents cannot buy a hamburger or French fries. This is Iceland. The first McDonald's opened there in the early 90s and at first everything went well, but 16 years later the company completely ceased to exist in the country. This was due to a whole set of reasons, the main of which was the financial crisis of 2008. Since then, not a single McDonald's has been opened in this country. Orbit and other chewing gums are simply banned in Singapore. It's almost unbelievable, but it's impossible to buy chewing gum in the country. Moreover, there are serious penalties, up to imprisonment, for bringing this product into the country, and even more so for throwing chewing gum in the street. Residents of the country have lived without chewing gum for almost 30 years. In the early 90s of the last century, the leaders of the country decided to ban chewing gum because of vandals who scattered it in public places, glued it to seats or threw it into mailboxes. I hope the people of the country can buy mints, because they somehow need to solve the problem of bad breath. Number 16. Interesting ban from the UK, they recently banned cotton swabs there. The reason for this was concern for the environment. The base of the stick is made of plastic, they are constantly thrown away and the material is not recycled. According to British lawmakers, this is highly detrimental to the environment. So Brits have to cope without cotton swabs, but that's not a bad thing, because it's dangerous to use them to clean your ears. You can injure important parts inside the eardrum. I'm sure the number of patients at British otolaryngologists decreased after the ban. Don't forget to like this video if you were interested. Also subscribe to the channel and click on the bell to always be informed of new videos and, of course, leave your comments under this video.